Welcome to Moviez Adda, and this is your Bollywood guide G9 यानी कि दिव्य सोलगामा in conversation with gorgeous Katrina Kaif over the success of her film Bang Bang. Katrina, first things first. What's your reaction over the box office success of your film Bang Bang? And kindly let us know the best reactions you got from your family members or friends.
That's great. It's great news. I'm very, very happy for them. I think everyone wants their film to be seen and to be accepted by the audiences. And I think it's a very fun film. It stayed true to what the promise was of the film, which is an exciting ride and an enjoyable film that which everyone can watch. And I think that the audiences are enjoying the ride, which is good. After a point, I'm not. I'm honestly not following every day what it's done. Also, immediately after the release, a little bit, I had a flu, so I don't actually really know. But as long as I know that the response is good, and then beyond that, I think it's the producer's job to keep the numbers. As it is, basically, I don't have a percentage of the film, so I'm not writing it down every day. बाद में दिखाने के लिए 20% का है. I think my friends, my family, because obviously you don't get a chance to speak to everyone, and also the last 3 days were hectic for me. I'm getting into also prep for Dada's film, Anurag Basu's film. It's starting now in 3 days. It's literally just around the corner. So I have not been able to interact as much as I think Ritik has with everybody. I've also been watching some of the things he's been doing. But my friends and my family, they really liked it, and they really enjoyed the film. Like my mom, especially, she enjoyed it. The trainer who had worked with me on Boom, so he was there for the Grease song, which was Meherwan. So they all went to see it in London, and they really enjoyed it. So that was nice. As long as I know they're satisfied, they're happy, खुश है, ठीक है.
Since you mentioned that you are starting to shoot for your upcoming film Jagga Jasoos with Ranbir Kapoor, kindly share us something about it. Is it a musical as it's rumored to be?
I think because people don't know about it, there's a lot of speculation. The only thing which I think we all know that I can tell you is Ranbir's character is a detective of sort, but not even in the traditional sense. So when you see it, you'll understand. Dada Anurag Basu's worlds are always very different. You can't classify them. Like you can't classify Barfi. You can't say that Ranbir is playing what character, Priyanka's playing what character. He creates a world and a vision which I think is very unique. It's very unusual to what we see around us. It's a kind of suspension of belief, which a lot of cinema is, but especially in Dada's films, I think he starts it and he maintains it to the end, which I really like. He creates a world which is in his mind, and people buy into it because his emotions are so strong in his films. Well, you see, it is a musical. It is a musical, and when I say musical, you'll probably say that okay, but all our films are musicals because you have 5 songs. But it's a musical in the traditional sense of the word. So what I mean is when you have a scene and then you stop and you have a song, that's not actually a musical in the traditional sense of the word. That's a film that has songs in it. A musical is where the scene is done in a song. So if I have to come in here and tell him that I like your hat, and I like the pattern on your shirt too, I'm gonna sing it to him. I like your hat and your shirt too. That's a musical when you tell the scene through the song, which we don't actually do in our films. It's actually a bit of a difference.
Katrina, your last few films were huge hit over the box office, but on the other side, you have been extremely unlucky over the awards. So kindly share us your opinion over the awards.
I remember I have to give a bad example here, or probably a politically incorrect example here. But I asked Salman this question, and I remember Salman told me that before Dabang, I think he had nomination. So it's not. I'm not to make a comparison at all, of course. Salman has achieved. He's an iconic person in the film industry, but it was just a good reminder. That is one thing, and also something else which Salim Khan said that nobody. Sorry, he said that just to be different, one doesn't have to be bad. So just that was in relation to something else, but it was when people make films sometimes that are so off, and you don't understand that it just seems that they were trying to be different for the sake of being different. Those were two philosophies which I really believe in. Don't try and be different for the sake of it. If something's working for you and you're doing well, be happy, accept that. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Don't be afraid of it, but don't chase it pointlessly and aimlessly. That opportunity will present itself in the right capacity to you. You chase after it with the wrong intention to try and prove something. It won't be an honest result. That's one thing. The other thing is that awards are great. I love them. Many of them are my friends. I have lots of those, most those entertaining and popular columns, and they're fun. I take them with a smile, and when you don't have them, I'm happy with the results of the film. And I just always remembered what Salman had said at that time because I found it quite relevant or quite poignant to what I wanted to achieve for myself. And you take what life gives you, and what life doesn't give you. As I said, you focus on the things you do have rather than searching for the things you don't.
Katrina, as we talked about, your last few films were huge hits and had good box office results. So, do you think these numbers will help getting good response to your upcoming films like Phantom, Jagga Jasoos, and Fitur? Also, when can we see you doing an out and out offbeat type of film?
An offbeat film, I don't consider any film onbeat or offbeat. For me, a film is interesting enough to excite me to be a part of it, or it's not. So if today, like if you let's pretend that you call Bang Bang a commercial film, okay, and you call Heather an offbeat film. To me, I don't see it that way. I see them both as films, as interesting scripts. Again, if I'm not mistaken. I would believe, or I would presume, Heather has been made in a good budget and a sensible budget, and they will recover that budget, and Bang Bang hopefully will recover their budget. So both films are successful in equal capacities, according to me. And so I don't know exactly about the budgets, but I'm saying more or less. So I don't see it as an offbeat film. I just see it as a good script, interesting enough or not. Like I think a lot of people could, maybe some people would call what New York an offbeat film at that time. A film with no songs, a lot of English, a thriller. We were fairly, one person was a newcomer. It was an unusual setup. Some people could have called that an offbeat film. The only onbeat thing about it was Yash Raj. Mere Brother Ki Dulhan as a success is as big a success for me as Ek Tha Tiger. Because for the budget we made Mere Brother Ki Dulhan in, that film recovered in that same margin which Ek Tha Tiger has recovered, maybe more or less a little different. So in that sense, Mere Brother Ki Dulhan was not the typical, as you're saying, um, huge commercial on paper film. But the success of it for me, I think is as important as Ek Tha Tiger. I don't know what you feel, but for me, that's what I feel. So I feel that if the film has its merit in all the three films that you've mentioned, whether it's Phantom, if I am right about what I believe is the merit of Phantom, the things that I like about it, the things that I like about Anurag Basu's film with me and Ranbir, the things that I like about Fitur as a young, today's relevant love story, then I believe all these three films will be equally as big successes for me. Will the exact numbers be the same? That we don't know. I mean, that's something you cannot, it's impossible to predict. But as successes and as important steps for me as an actor, I believe they're the right ones. Phantom, you could say, in again a similar capacity. Besides the fact that Kabir Khan now has, Ek Tha Tiger behind him, we have two successes together with New York and with Tiger. Sajid is a huge producer, of course, but the script again is in that sense it's a thriller. It's a tight thriller. It's got no songs. It hasn't got your commercial traditional aspect. So I mean, it just depends how you look at it. To me, you could call that an offbeat film if you want to, but for me, they're all onbeat films.